Hey everybody, welcome back. I apologize for the noise in the background. I have been reliably informed that it is still too cold outside for the ducks to live outside. They are going to be joining us for a while. So Mr. Pickles, Bonnie, and Clyde will be in here for a little while. Anyways, I am actually still working on these doors. What I have to do is on the driver door, well, all of the doors, I have to replace the bottom 3 or 4 inches, and that'll be a totally separate project. But what I want to do today is actually replace this area here. That's going to be the first of the crew cab doors. And last week I had left it that I wanted to try and use the horizontal piece from the doors, and those were just mangled and roached because somebody picked the truck up with a chain clearly through the cab and wrecked both of these. But after some comments on the last video, some people suggested maybe we use this part, and this is perfect because it's perfectly straight and level and flat. The difference is the dimensions in the width are totally different, and then the height. So what I'm hoping I can do is just take the skin off of that, take the skin off of this, and then replace those two things, and that would be a solution that would be acceptable. So that's going to be today's project, is trying to get the door top done on the crew cab. So that being said, I don't have too much time today. I'm just going to tear into it. So let's cut that off of there, get it over to the table, and kind of see what we can come up with. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate the comments. Thanks for everybody leaving comments that are helping and making suggestions about the build, because I'm really taking those things and using them to my advantage to help build this thing. So anyways, that being said, let's just get right into it. All right, here's the update. So what I was doing there is cutting these 2 bits down. This is from the horizontal, that's vertical, the vertical part of the donor door. This is the part that was the horizontal part of the donor door. You can see the difference in the structure. This one has the channel for the window. When you roll the window up, it's going to go into there. And then also on the top here, I would assume weather stripping, that kind of thing. This is the more vertical bit that was on the door, like such. The inner structure itself, so the nice part about this is that it's flat, right? It's basically, other than the little nubs on the end here, and the reason I left those is just so that we have enough length and we can trim to fit and things like that, and then stick that up in there. This one would be nice, but it's dented all to hell because it's the same structure as the door, and of course we'd need to flatten it out. We'd have to make some relief cuts and then weld it back together, which isn't a terribly big deal because I did that when I did the part over the door frame anyways on both the driver and passenger door frame for the front part of the vehicle. So I don't know, I'd be more inclined, I think, to use the straight one, because this thing is just beat up, but I like the fact that it's the correct shape to match, you know, the profile of the door here. But I don't like trying to straighten that out. So I'm going to think about it a little bit. I'm going to see actually how easy it might be to peel this skin off of here, so that I can just take this skin maybe and put that skin on this one, so I keep the profile for the window to go up into. I don't know how hard that's going to be to peel this up and get it off of there. So we'll do an experiment and we will find out. Hey, look at that. We got that skin off of there. There were some spot welds on this. So this is the bit that I want. And again, it's not perfectly straight, but a couple relief cuts in that will totally be acceptable. And we can make that flat. And that's the shape that I want for the inside part of the door, which of course I moved over there now. So if I get the skin off of this one, same method, I can take this skin, that's in way better shape, and put it onto this piece, and we may be in business. So I'm going to continue. Now this one's different. All right, so this one had some spot welds on it that were easy to see. This one is like, we'll find out. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get a little bigger drill bit. All right, so some more spot welds to take off. So here's what I'm looking at. This is the skin from the horizontal part of the door, and that came off pretty well. But you can see, if we line that up like so, this flange here, this little 90, that matches up to the bottom of the door bit, is different than the part that was on the horizontal. You can see how, well, let me just put them next to each other. You can see how much shorter this one is. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to cut this flange off of this bit, weld it onto this one, and then what I can do is where this folds over, this wasn't welded at all to the structure part of the door, we'll trim this, but then fold it over just like it was for the factory. Before I do that, I'm obviously going to clean up these bits of metal here so that you can make them look a little bit better and we get welds to stick. But I think the plan, as I said, is cut this flange off so that we get the profile to match. And then we can take this piece and put it on the door bit. So, which goes... Yeah, just trying to keep my orientation straight. It's going to look like that. It's going to make that kind of sandwich is what we're aiming for. So then we got this nice clean profile. This is a little, you can see it's a little tweaked down here, but that's easily fixable with a relief cut. And whacking it with a hammer. So I'm going to clean these bits up. All right, well, here's where we stand after not a terrible amount of work, but we got that cleaned up. We got metal grinding bits all over the place, but I've got my vice grips there, and essentially I'm just holding this together temporarily. And you can see now we've got our profile. So I measured before. The distance from this flange to the bottom of this was 1 1/8. You can see where our fold has to happen. So what I think I'm going to do now is I am going to straighten this out because this isn't perfectly straight or level yet. So what I need to do, just get these off of here, is this piece here is the one that needs to be horizontal. And if you look at it like so, we're going to need to make some relief cuts in that so that we can flatten this out. Once this is flat, we'll make sure that this is flat. And then this I already pounded on the edge of the workbench here, so this kind of shrunk up itself and we made that nice and flat anyway. So this piece is ready to go. Then we'll kind of clamp it up and tack it up to see if we can get this to kind of match up with, that spot right there. And that's the plan, and that's pickles. So anyways, I am going to work on flattening this piece next, just a couple relief cuts, probably somewhere near that middle where that screw hole is there, because we gotta make it flat. And I think the best way to do that here is going to be with just a relief cut, maybe 2, and then we'll make this flat, and then we'll make the other pieces match it. So that's the next step. Well, I thought I would just try and use the BFH and make that a little bit more smooth, which we did a little bit, but at the cost of that, which is a bummer. At least it was empty. The old Blanton's is a good bourbon. I was keeping that for a souvenir. Oh well. Gonzo. Anybody want it? Free. Let's make some relief cuts now. All right, well, here's where it stands after about an hour and a half of work. I've got the profile kind of the way I like it. This is about 1.125 inches, so what we're going to have to do is, where you can see this was pinched over, we're going to have to cut that, trim that off of there. And none of this is welded together. But essentially, we have made the piece we need out of the scraps we had. So this one's nice and flat, so let me just disassemble my little thing here. This piece is the one that we had welded up. I did also have to put a relief cut there because it was a little too wide at that point. But if we put it on here, we're pretty flat enough for what I need. That will accommodate what we're doing with this thing. We are building a rat rod. This stuff here, this little flange, man, that is thin. I don't know what that is, but that is, I'm going to burn through that, I guarantee. This here, I still do need to flatten this out, because if you look at this, those little nubbins on the end, it's flat except for those. So I'm going to have to trim off here or relief cut or something so that becomes flat. You can see how there's a big gap under there. So we need to make that flat and clean up the inside of it, cut this pinch off of here, and then we will fold that over onto this eventually and make the bit we need for the door. So anyways, I'm out of time for right at the moment. This will be a later me assembly kind of problem, but anyways, that's about an hour and a half of work for me, which doesn't mean anything for you because your experience level may be different, and I'm a total newbie, novice at this, so fabricating as we go. So anyways, I'm going to clean up a little bit, get out of here because my time is done for the moment, and I promise you I will get rid of the ducks because they are annoying the F out of me. All right, well, here's the update. It is Friday, and it's just about 5 o'clock, and usually I try and get the videos out around 4:30, 5 o'clock on a Friday. But what I'm going to have to do is finish up what I might do here for maybe an hour or so, and then throw it into the video I already started editing so I can push this out so that I got something on Friday evening for the people who might be interested in the build for this thing. But I didn't have any time this week. I haven't even been out here at all. So I'm going to quit talking real quick and see what I can get done. I really just hope that I can get the top of that door frame completed. So I've got something that's accomplished this week. And, hopefully in the near future, we can find some other time so we can be out here so we can actually start, putting the doors on this thing and building our crew cab. So, yeah, that's kind of it for now. So let's see what I can actually do with 1 hour of time. All right, well, this is going to be highly unusual because this is not the way I typically make videos, but what I'm going to do is kind of talk through the process. So where I had left it at the end of the video previously was we had made our profile for the door here, and we need to straighten this piece out here so I can stick it in the door frame. I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put it in there so that I got my body lines on the door to match up correctly. They're pretty close. They're not perfect, but I want those body lines to match up. And I'm realizing now that even this quote-unquote horizontal piece that I'm making here, which was the vertical bit of the door, it's not completely even along the entire length of this thing. So what we're going to need to do, it looks like, is we're going to need to make, I might tack it in on one side and then make a relief cut on this side so that I can figure out how much I need to bend that end. And then we need to cut this, I guess we'll call it a flange, where it gets folded over into this bit of door frame. Actually, I guess I can put this in first. Then this is set, and this is my reference point for where the rest of it's going to go. So I got to clean the top of the door up, tack that piece in. That's the first thing. So what I just realized is I had these doors, and this piece that I was going to use from the vertical part of the door to extend the horizontal part, where it kind of kinks down a little bit, if I cut both of those little nubbins off where it's kind of going down, this bit of this door is actually perfectly straight. Well, it's more perfecter than this. So I'm going to cut a piece of this off from this one of these orange doors. And I know that's a little bit extra work, splicing it onto here, but then it eliminates the problem with trying to relief cut this on either end. So I'm just going to cut it off so it's flat, figure out how much distance I need off of this, and then use this. Good plan when you're running out of time. So basically, we're just going to use this as a reference. Mark off where it starts getting curvy. And then use the other. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Desperate times call for desperate measures. All right, another quick update. Clearly we've got the door upside down here. I just wanted to show you the inside of what we did, and it actually looks really good. You can see where I drilled out the spot welds previously on that little piece here, and what we're going to do is we're going to complete that flange right there, holding the backside of the structure of the door frame. This is the gap that I have to fill in from that little 2-inch piece that I put in. But otherwise, hey, you know, I'm pretty pretty pleased with that. So we're going to plug weld those bits there, and then just tack along the edge of this, because who cares if it's tacked or not, because you're only going to see that. So yeah, there's that. Let's do it. All right, well, here's my last update. Yeah, gee whiz, Zena, what is happening? Nico, what is actually happening out here? Anyways, we have built one crew cab door. It is not finished. I got to weld up the structure on the back like I did on the front doors. But now that we have the template and how to do it, it's going to go a lot smoother for when we do the other one. Then finally we can make our frames and stick them on the cab, maybe. So anyways, what we did up here actually turned out pretty okay. Cobbling together lots and lots of different pieces. If I just hold my straight edge up there, you can see there is a little bit of light. But you know what? Again, like I said, we're building a rat rod. I think that's well within standard for what I'm looking for. So anyways, there's that. So again, late video today. Got out here kind of late, but legitimately, what you saw from when I gave the update there was 1 hour of work to get that piece on there. So I'm going to leave it at that, and hope you guys have a good week. I'm going to try and get out here more, hopefully, in the future, because we need to get this going so that we can, well, make it look like that, and then put that on the back of that, and put the doors on, and put this onto a Chevy 3500. So I got a lot more to do. Nico says goodbye. Zena says goodbye. Hope everybody has a great week coming up. Stay warm. More storms coming through, I think. So anyways, we'll catch up with you guys next time. Right, puppy dogs? Your burrs. See you guys later.